So, hi. A lot of you know that I do believe in Vedic astrology. It's a beautiful mathematical, you know, wonder to me how it all works, the patterns, and um, there's a huge intersection of Vedic astrology with Ayurveda. And actually, one time I did this really cool workshop series with a Vedic astrologer where we would have people and I would read someone's constitution live just based on their physical features and their pulse and their manner, etc. And she would then pull up their birth chart according to Vedic astrology and show them how she would find the constitution in that manner. And it always matched up. And it was just so cool to see how all of these Vedic sciences really fit together to give you these little pieces from which you can really understand yourself and work with your nature and your patterns in this lifetime. So I was super excited when I heard from Ben because he is telling me about these Jyotish, Vedic astrology. In Sanskrit, it's called Jyotish. And he was telling me about these Jyotish health reports that he's been creating. And he offered to do one for me. And so I've got my health report right here. And I felt like the best way for me to sort of show you what you can learn about your health and your well being um, and your Ayurvedic approach and balancing steps and tools, and what Jyotish and Vedic astrology can do to supplement that journey in Ayurveda is really quite incredible. Um, but I was starting to say is I think the best way for me to show you what that intersection is to kind of go through my own health report and walk you through what insights this is giving me. So the first thing he lists out is my prakriti or constitution, right? And so it says here Pitta Kapha, sure enough. Um, and it's so cool. I'm just going to read this to you so you can get a feel for how the science works, not because I'm going to read you the entire report, but it says Ascendant Lord Venus, indicating Kapha, is in the sign of Leo, indicating Pitta, by its rulership of the sun. The sun is much stronger than Venus in the chart due to its placement in the 10th house, giving directional strength. So Pitta takes predominance. Isn't that amazing? They're literally looking at a map of the sky from the perspective of you at the moment you were born. So, in order to get this health report, you need to have your exact birth time and birth location. And so we're looking at the sky, and based on where the planets are and based on what the different houses mean, they can start to learn so much. So one of the things they can tell is your constitution, right? So mine came up at the kapha, sure enough. Then also we can look at what's happening in the chart now with what are the current transits, where are the planets, and where's everything astrologically currently, what's strong, what's weak, and then how would that affect this person. um, that's amazing, right? So my current state they're able to see as vata, and that's very true. um, and they're talking about how my vata imbalance is most likely to manifest in the mind because I'm currently in a moon cycle, and the moon is so related to mind state and emotional state. And then I'm in this cycle from November of 2017 until November of 2028. So how helpful is this to know that I'm going to be dealing with a lot of vata symptoms in the mind during this time? What I'm able to do is say, hey, let me do vata reducing practices for the mind. So maybe I bring in a regular pranayama practice to reduce vata in the mind, changing my schedule, changing my routine, changing my custody arrangements for my children, changing um, how much travel I do, how busy my schedule is, all of these other ways to sort of affect vata in the mind, herbs, um, maybe Shirodhara treatments more regularly, um, maybe other practices to really understand that there's a lot of vata in the mind in these times. That's so great. I'm getting exactly the information I need to know how to best support myself in this time. Then what he does is he goes through each dhatu, meaning tissue system. And so each tissue system is also correlated with specific planets. Um, so, for example, Jupiter is very much related to the fat tissue systems. Um, Mars is very related to the nervous system. So what he's done here is he's gone through each one of those tissue systems, and he's giving me very clear predictions here. So, you know, imbalance, inflammation in the knees, feet, ankles, um, inflammation and swelling in the muscles, um, overall good um, ojas, but um, pretty sharp agni and some pitta in the digestion and some ama in the digestive tract and um, a virus attacking the immune system. Um, that's huge, right? And so if I'm to show up with some autoimmune things, which I have in the past, and my nervous system is not functioning very well, right? Like it may be considered autoimmune. But here I have very clearly that it's an external factor like a virus. The immune system is unable to function properly when under assault. And this condition is likely to resolve in time. That keys me into EBV. Like, I'm going to go get tested for EBV right away and maybe get treated because I know that and any other latent viruses that tend to bug the nervous system and the immune system, I have a vulnerability to during this time. Um, it's so incredible. It's telling me how to support my reproductive tissues, my muscles. I know to be geared towards an anti-inflammatory diet, for example, to take some pitta-reducing herbs for my digestive system, to make sure I'm eating very clean and cleansing and not building up too much ama, because I know what to expect. So I know exactly how to set up my preventative approach, right? Then they go into the subtle energetics, tejas, pranas, prana, and ojas. And so, it, you know, that's not something that many people work with, but it's nice to know sort of where your subtle energetics are if you understand subtle energetics and you're in the practice of looking at them. Then goes into manas, or sort of mind states, emotional states, again, governed by the moon. Um, and then talks about agni, or digestive capacity, and other notes he puts in here that are kind of just validating, like, oh, there is some of this, and so you may experience some of these symptoms. And so now that I have been experiencing some of these symptoms, it's kind of like, oh, okay, like, yeah, that really is happening. And it's so great because he's even called out, this period. At the end, he's got timing, so he's calling out any relevant upcoming sort of transits about to happen. And based on this, he's telling me about the anxiety that I was mentioning, and also a period where there might be bacterial, viral, parasites in the digestive tract. That's really helpful. I'm gonna, keep in mind for parasite cleansing protocols. That's easy. I could just take some herbs and help really prevent my um, vulnerabilities or likely patterns as predicted by the energetics of what I'm experiencing and how I was made. So basically, I'm this energy ball interfacing with the energetics of the universe that I'm experiencing, and it's all just patterns. And so these predictions are based on, hey, here's a pattern that is likely of, this particular energetic for someone who was made in the way that you were made. It's mind blowing how accurate this can be. And what's really amazing, he's even telling me when I'm likely going to go into menopause. Um, how helpful is that? I'm going to bring on massive herbs. I'm going to, schedule my life hopefully to give myself a lot of space to um, be emotionally supported through that time. So it's really cool. And then if you're interested, he can add in remedies. He comes from a Kundalini background, so a remedy that he gave me, for example, was a mantra. Um, and that's, if you're into that kind of thing. But a lot of the remedies that can be brought in are diet, routine, playing with Vata Pitta Kapha in your life, um, herbs, different body treatments, yoga, pranayam. So we have so many tools, and this is so incredibly helpful. So if you are a client of mine, especially, we can go through this, and I will then incorporate that into our work together. It's almost something that I feel like I would love to have for every client that I have. So um, no pressure. I just wanted to share with everyone out there how Vedic astrology can work together with Ayurveda lifestyle in customizing your prevention and sort of having an idea of what vulnerabilities and patterns and likelihoods you may experience, and feeling like you have the tools and the ability to um, balance as much as possible, so that you have the best experience possible, like the least amount of suffering and less duration and less intensity of symptoms, right? So if you're not a client of mine, you're welcome to purchase one of these Jyotish health reports, and um, we can maybe schedule like a 30-minute session if you want me to kind of go over it with you. So amazing. I hope you guys are just as inspired as I am. And if you choose to use this as a tool for yourself, I can't wait to geek out with you over it. All right. So let me know if you guys have any questions on that.